at a disadvantage when it comes to, for instance, when we are talking about climate change now. So, and it is the correlation of different characteristics. For instance, you can talk about the geography of a person, whether they are living in a rural area or they are even living in an urban area, the race, religion, age of a person, the ability, whether they are physically challenged or they have any, like they are living with any disabilities, their appearance also, the class, maybe the socio-economic class that a person can be categorized under, the cultures, ethnicity, education, employment, sexuality, and also the sexual orientation and spirituality. So for instance, if someone is employed and another one is not employed, then and also like someone who is not employed living in the city or someone who is not employed living in the rural areas, how can these characteristics correlate to make this person more to give them some power or remove some power from them? Next slide, please. Yeah, so based on what we have said, I'd like to take us through the first scenario just to allow us to get into this. So for instance, I have the first scenario where we're talking about a Senkola man who is 50 years old. So that is the aspect of age, and is living in a semi-arid region. So we see geography there with these 10 children, 4 boys and 6 daughters, all who are minors. And his wife is presently pregnant with their 11th child. He's predominantly a pastoralist with no education, and his children are attending school. So accessibility to school for his children is a problem, as they are some kilometers away, and also hospitals are located at the city center far from his home. And it is predicted that the area will receive above normal rainfall. So first of all, I'd like to open the floor for you, our participants, to share with me, to have a discussion on what you see could make this person, this man, and his family more vulnerable to the upcoming flooding. So they've said above normal rainfall. So let's assume that they would be flooding in this location. So if you want to come to try, please raise your hand. And if it's not clear, please let me know.
Okay. I think it's on the board. I don't know how to rephrase it, honestly. It's a bit outside what we've been doing, but it's like a kind of a real life situation. I don't have any domain knowledge on it, but probably it's.
Okay, so it's basically like a scenario that you can just try and see like how someone can be vulnerable to the climatic conditions. And here we are talking about rainfall, and I've given you the characteristics of this man who is 50 years old and he lives in a semi-arid area. And when you look at most of the semi-arid regions, the land would be mostly bare, and therefore the floods could be more predominant. And also, like we've talked about this man being uneducated and a pastoralist. So we also see the aspect of the sources of livelihoods, and also the big family with the majority of them being minors. So anyone else who wants to give a try of how this man could be vulnerable to the impending flood?
Yes, I think some people here.
I want to try. If I understand you very well, we need to I think this the predicted is we will receive the above normal rainfall in our region. So
apologies, I can't hear you well. Would you please move to the closer to the mic, or
okay.
maybe
You understand me? You understand me
raise your
well now?
voice?
Do you understand me well now?
Yeah, you can just go on and let.
Okay. I think this man is vulnerable because the above normal rainfall we can cause some problem with you. First, we say the pastoralist, we can have some, we can lose some animals, and also we can have some economic problem with you. Another thing about if you have some injury or you can have some problem to go to the hospital, and we show the rainfall we can cause some diseases, for example, and it's difficult for you to access to the hospital because some problem for you. It's my mind about this. Thanks.
Any more? Okay, yes.
Okay, thank you, Joyce. Well, I think Sekonle is very, very vulnerable. First of all, because of his profession. As a pastoralist, he has to move from one place to the other because of his environment. But looking at the characteristics of his family, I think the number one reason why he's more vulnerable is because of, one, his occupation, which is determined by his location, which is a semi-arid region. Then the number of children he has, which according to the scenario is the 11th child is on the way. So when you look at all this, he's actually excluded from, he's highly vulnerable to the impact of climate change. To solve his problem will be to move him to a place that is closer to the city, since it is predicted that the area will start to receive above normal rainfall, and possibly make him to start practicing ranching. Thank you.
Okay, maybe Joyce, back to you now so that we move on.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much for that. I think you've given us a very interesting starting point. And yes, we've talked about the accessibility to school, to the hospital, and also the pregnant woman who is expecting their 11th child. And therefore, like if the flood is to happen, there's a potential or possibility that the road network could be cut, and therefore access to the hospital could be a challenge. And then also there's the aspect of access to climate information. So we've talked about this man being uneducated, and therefore, depending on the channel of the channel that we use to disseminate the climate, the early warning information, it can either make this person be left out behind. Another aspect is also like as a pastoralist, it means he moves from one place to another, and therefore, like if there are systems in place where people can be able to access the information, maybe by the time this information is being delivered, if it's information that is provided by word of mouth, perhaps they could have moved to a different location. So that also like presents an aspect of maybe the access to climate information being a challenge, and also reducing its capacity to act faster. So please move to the next slide. Yes, so thank you. So I'd like us to look at this, the second scenario. So this one is about missed warning in Mororo village. So it's also, again, about heavy flooding. So one, heavy rains is expected. Alerts issued via SMS and radio in English. And then the message reached men heads, women, and men heads only. So women and persons living with disabilities didn't receive or understand. And Amina, a woman farmer, lost seeds. Abdi, a man with disability, couldn't evacuate. So looking at this, what happened in this situation? First, The warning was shared via SMS and public radio bulletin, both in English. I think let me not summarize this, but perhaps we can explain how this who was left behind and why, and also which stage failed, whether it was generating, translating, transfer, or use of climate information, and also the issue of gender equality and disability dissemination, disability and social inclusion mainstreaming could change the outcome. So if we are able to make this our climate information to be more inclusive, how could this circumstance would have been changed? So maybe we can try again to just brainstorm, looking at this scenario. The floor is open.
Okay, so someone wants to try.
Okay,
Please
before
go ahead.
then, what does GEDSI, what does it mean?
Oh, apologies for the acronym. So this is gender equality, disability, and social inclusion. So if we are in a position to consider gender equality issues, disability, social issues, and social inclusion in weather and climate information, so how can we change this outcome where the woman lost her seeds, Abdi not being able to evacuate, and also like the aspect of people not receiving weather and climate information because the channels used were not appropriate.
Okay, from this scenario, I think who was left behind and why? The people that were left behind are the ones that have difficulty understanding English because the alerts were issued via SMS and radio in English, while the local language is Somali or Pokomo. So one language barrier at the point of the information dissemination, and which stage failed, I think translate failed because the heavy rains was expected, so it means they were aware, and at the point of disseminating that information failed to reach everybody involved because it was only done in English. So the translate stage failed. And how could GEDSI mainstreaming change the outcome? I think one of the ways that this outcome might change is to give the women and the PWDs access to radios, as well as having this information disseminated in their local languages. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Anyone else who wants to attempt?
No second hands up.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much for that. And just to mention that, yes, you've covered the key issues here, the issue of language. So how are we able to translate this information into local languages that people that we are targeting can be reached, and also ensuring that we use different channels. Here they said SMS and radio in English, but this information only reached the male heads. So then this shows us the importance of conducting like a rapid gender assessment when it comes to reaching out to, if you want to reach out to many people, so that you can understand the preferred channels for accessing, and also the preferred languages. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is an example of some of the findings that we conducted a gender analysis in Kenya, 2 counties, Garissa and Tana River, and just to highlight some of the outcomes from this. So from the study, we asked the respondents from these 2 counties on access to drought warning products. And it was very clear that below 40% of the women said that they had access, and about 60% men said they had access. So that already indicates the issue of access by sex being higher by men compared to women. And also we looked at the issue of influencing or the participation of women and men in decision-making platforms. For instance, we looked at drought influencing committees, and in both counties, the participation of women was lower than that of men. And looking at it also from the point of age, youth were the least represented in terms of participating in forums where decisions are made relating to droughts. And also, so the younger generation, and also the older generation were also less engaged as compared to the middle-aged persons. For instance, I think the highest was those between the ages of 35 to 44 who were able to participate in this. And therefore, this shows the need for inclusivity when we have forums where decisions are made, decisions that could impact the lives of people. Yeah, so yeah, this is just an example to show like how some people have been left behind in decision-making forums, and also the disconnect between in accessing climate information between men and women. Next slide, please.
Joyce, I had just one quick question, because I mean, this is a survey. The imbalance in the access to the survey also count here, right? So is it due to the fact that the rate of people, educated people in this area is male dominant, or is it just the issues of how you distribute the information, who get access to the information, that also buys any kind of survey we are doing, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's only that I've not included those parameters in terms of education and also in terms of access to the different channels. So maybe I can just give a bit of explanation on this. So when we looked about at in general, like the two areas if you compare with other areas within the country, they generally had low access to climate information. But then the issue was also education. Most of them are not are illiterate, and the higher percentage of illiterate people were women and persons living with disabilities, because of limited schools for persons with disabilities, and also the cultural aspect of a person living with disability within a household is being perceived as quote unquote should not be seen, and therefore the parents could not take them to school. And then the other issue was also the issue of channels that were used. So if mobile phones and WhatsApp or social media was used as a key delivery mode for communication, women had limited access to such channels, including radios. And for instance, the radios in a household were said to be highly controlled by the men. And then also the other issue was climate information. Community forums have been used to disseminate information in these two communities. For instance, using mosques and also using chief barazas. And in this case, in the context of these communities also, like women do not really participate in public forums or in forums where men are, and therefore, if the information is shared using these forums, then the women would only depend on whether accessing information from the men, and sometimes they do not share the information, or if they do, the information is already distorted. So that's what we found out from the field. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, can carry on.
Okay, so I think so some of the gender and disability and social inclusion gaps that we've seen in the scenario and also in the slide that I've shared was the issue of language, the channels that only reaches men, for instance, radio, WhatsApp audio, and women groups, and also the disability. There's no audio, there's no sign language for the person, no audio or sign language, sign information for persons living with disabilities, and then also the representation of women and persons living with disabilities, and also the elderly being excluded in community meetings or decision-making committees. And then also like the outcome, like what would happen when we consider gender equality and disability and social inclusion in climate information. So first, information is co-produced with women and persons living with disabilities. Then that means information is translated and accessible, and also the advisories that could come from co-production sessions could also be inclusive. For instance, Amina would have received early warning, and of course Abdi would have acted in time, and there would be zero livestock losses if information were also disseminated for that pastoralist man, and having like stronger trust in focus, because if people can receive it early, they can act early, and maybe next time they can be able to be even looking for that information themselves.
Joyce?
Next slide, please. Yes.
Yeah, so please, in the interest of time, can you try to summarize, and then you can take the rest of the points to the discussion?
Okay.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Would you please move to the next slide? Okay, we can move just move. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, here. I wanted to look at this table. The table before this. Just one slide back.
Sorry, I can't understand what you are saying, Joyce. Do you want us to move further?
So just please, yeah, no, back, behind. One slide behind.
Please?
Yes, here. Okay, so when we look at the stages of climate services, the first stage is the generation stage, where data and production happens. So here we look at some of the gender equality and disability inclusion actions. So for instance, including women, youth, older persons, and PWDs in data collection and observation networks. So I know that in most cases we have the voluntary observers who would record rainfall or rain gauge readings. So if we can make that group to be inclusive, I think it would be beneficial. And also, if we could conduct JC context analysis to understand the barriers in terms of literacy, mobility, and digital divide, and also collecting sex, age, disability, and disaggregated data. Another thing is also including, I know that recently there's been an increase in women who are engaged in STEM courses and also climate science courses, but how can the barriers that limit them from accessing or achieving their limits in terms of working as climate scientists be addressed? So if we can be able to have maybe mentorship programs for women and maybe internship programs and scholarships to support women to engage in to participate in meteorology and climate science, and then also in terms of translation. So here, when you talk, when you want to have a responsive and transformative climate services, we have to co-design focused products with women, youth, and persons living with disabilities. Also simplifying focus into local dialects, for instance, Pokomo, Somali, and other relevant languages, and using visual icons for low literacy audience, and also ensuring timing and formats of advisories reflect gendered roles. For example, if you are sharing a focus using radio, so are you able to time the times that women will be available to listen to those radios such that they are not missed, and also the consistency in delivering that information. And then also in terms of transfer, so we need to use multiple communication channels because depending on a community, it could be one community, but different people are there, and therefore it's never it's never a homogeneous group. So you'll find there are people who are literate, you'll find there are people who have access to social media, and there are people who are persons living with disabilities. So we need to have multiple channels so that we ensure that everyone is reached. And then also scheduling dissemination when women and marginalized groups can attend, whether it's co-production meetings, can they be able to participate in those co-production meetings? And then also partnering with women groups, youth associations, and disability organizations to co-lead communication, and also establishing feedback mechanisms to ensure that we are able to understand whether the information was received and was it useful. And then on the youth stage, we need to build capacity for our target groups, for instance, women, persons living with disabilities, youth, to be able to interpret and act on the forecast, and also facilitating women and persons living with disabilities leadership in co-production and dissemination committees. As we've seen in the previous, in my survey, that there were fewer women participating in such committees, and then integrating gender indicators in monitoring forecast use and response, and also documenting user stories to track empowerment and local ownership. So I can end my slide here, and then I can open the floor for questions.
Okay, let us thank Joyce. So I think we just jump into, we have maybe one quick question before we go into the discussion. One quick question for Joyce.
We just go to discussion now.
Okay, that's it. We can start. Everyone has to.
It's not the question, but I think it's the comment. If I see in this.
Apologies, you are a bit low. If you can raise your voice a bit.
Okay, I say it's the comment about the if I see in this example the really problem about the climate information in Africa or in our country is the problem of language, the translation. Generally, the vulnerable group is the people who don't understand French or English. So it is the really problem. And I think we can solve it to use artificial intelligence, because when you speak about artificial intelligence, we can make it I think to easily reformulate or easily translate our climate information in order to address the equality. It is just my comment. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. I think that's really interesting. If we can be able to have AI and also community engagements to be able to ensure that we understand the languages that are needed, and also leverage on AI. Anyone else who has a comment or a question?
Hi, Joyce. It's Mohammed here. So, yeah, I mean, my question is like about the place of women, maybe in Africa in general, all the barriers, except, I mean, toward education, because when you talk about climate information access, it is everything boiled down to kind of education, right? I mean, AI is a great tool to help maybe break the language barrier, definitely. But this would mean also, okay, everyone has at least a basic knowledge on how to use them, right? Then it boils down to education and regional ethnicity dependence. We have a lot of barriers when it comes to place of women to access to education. I'm Fulani. I know, like, that most of the Fulani women and so on, they go to school, but at some point, you get married and so on, and depending on the position also of your position in the family. So, yeah, you have more responsibilities that probably don't allow you to get access to more higher education level and so on. Yeah, I think these are main issues, still main issues. But what exactly from your your scenarios, your how we can say survey, how we get an opportunity to interact with these people who at least have filled in your survey? Do you get the direct feedbacks? What is the most important for them? Not only from our perspective, right? Like, or from perspective of IPCC, like translating, but how they get access to the information, or what are the most important and urgent need for them to adapt?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. You've talked about a very important aspects, education for us to be able to leverage on AI. They need to be educated, but also like from the point of view from the previous speaker who mentioned about AI, I think it was such that even the climate scientists can leverage on AI to use it for translation, and then probably like the information could be disseminated in local languages. And then in terms of priorities for the community, is basically like ensuring that they can participate, they wish to participate, and also like when you talk about participation, I know in most cases what we have been doing is bringing one person and saying that we've ensured that women and persons living with disabilities have participated in the forums, but then that is not as representative as that is not representative. So how can we select the right groups or a group of people to participate in forums, and also like are we able to have empowerment forums for them to be able to uptake the information? Because it's one thing to access the information, but then sometimes you can be giving advisories, but then they are not in a position to make decisions or to respond to those advisories, maybe because of access to finances or access to inputs or access timely decision-making capacity, because in some communities also some gender groups have lower decision-making capacities. So it's all about community engagement to understand first the importance of early warning, and also like introducing the aspect of even indigenous knowledge, such that they can also leverage on what they already know, because we don't want to assume that these communities do not have any coping mechanisms before your intervention. But like how can you integrate the indigenous knowledge to the scientific knowledge to ensure that there is a lot of trust in what you are providing, and also lack of duplication in terms of and also not lack of duplication, but also like increased uptake and response. Thank you.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
hope
so
I answered your question. Anyone else? Yeah.
yes, so it's also good if we can get feedback from the online participants. And Jonathan is online. Jonathan, I don't know if you want to say something.
So let me just say thank you. I think this was a very useful and interesting presentation for me. I don't have anything to add at the moment. Things have been the kid just got home from school, so yeah, I'll let you to take the discussion, I think, for now.
Yeah, okay. We have feedbacks again from within the hall, because we're already like on discussion point number 1 about climate change and adaptation resilience measures. But then in talking about, okay, I was thinking about this AI question. This may, I would think, require the people to have at least a smartphone or something, or at least a phone. So, and then, I mean, I'm basically thinking about the economic part of that and how affordable, even if AI, we think would make things easy when we sit here with internet and everybody with a smartphone. If the Okay, so I mean, I'm wondering if like the headers or the farmers or the most vulnerable people, even if we think that AI will make things cheaper or easier, how accessible even AI will still be to them if you have to have a phone or a smartphone, which is not cheap anyway, and you still need to have access to the internet to make use of it and all that. But we have another contribution here from a participant, so I just hand over the microphone.
Thank you. I want just to add something on this subject. During my internship, I go to the mining village, and on this village we collect some solution that the old people use to adapt on climate change. And the solution included how to do agriculture, how to save the water, how to produce energy without polluting our environment. And all the village, the people on this village are not educated, are not have a diploma or a meaning education, but he know how to live healthy and how to live without polluting our environment. And as we have master degrees, theses on climate change, and we pollute. We know this is bad. This is bad on our environment, and we pollute. This is not a question of education. It is a question to know how to live healthy and take care on our environment. This we don't know it at school. It is a education in our home. Our parents need to educate that. I don't know how to say that. Educate at this on them education. This is only that I want to add. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very interesting perspective. Does someone want to say something? I mean, I think, Joy, you understood the point she was trying to make, like more education may not always be the best. It's
Yeah, Yeah, it's very interesting, and I think it's also aligns with my previous comment of the knowledge from the lived knowledge by the communities. They already have their own coping mechanisms, and therefore we need to listen to them and probably also like maybe strengthen what they already know and yeah, just advising, but in most cases they already have the knowledge, and yeah, and therefore it's important to bring on board those indigenous people, the technical the indigenous forecasters are also on board to be able to also share like some of the ways they've been sharing or providing climate information, their indicators, and building on their adaptive mechanisms.
Okay, so do we have more feedback from within the room or from online? So if not, we jump over to the next. Okay.
Oh, I have the question about your experience in, I think, in Somali. My question is, in addition of the accessing the weather information, we make some action in order to and I can increase the resilience of this society. For example, permit to have access or some seed more resilient about climate change for develop some house we can more resistant about the flood. We have do you made some action about this, or this the action about the more better access of weather information? Thanks. My question.
Yeah, so in terms of maybe the adaptability, we've done some trainings for the farmers, for instance, using the participatory integrated climate services for agriculture approach, whereby the communities are able to learn, like moving away from just the forecast, but how can they apply climate information into their livelihood sources, and also like looking at the different livelihood value chains and seeing, okay, so someone has been planting maize for the longest time in this area, but then when you look at the rainfall, it's not sufficient to produce the maize crop. So in that case, also like advising the farmers on the appropriate crops for that region. So that's an example of one of the key interventions that we have done, and also like supporting the farmers to be able to monitor the climate conditions for themselves. For example, like giving them rain gauges, and also like showing them how to monitor or to read the um, river gauge monitors. And the other one is also like we've tried to work with them to develop symbols whereby they can be able to understand the severity. Like for instance, if it's a flood alert, whether it's severe or it's moderate or it's just the different levels of alerts for both droughts and floods, they are able to design their own symbols, what they want to use, and then we adopted those symbols, and whenever there's an alert that is being provided, we use those symbols, and communities, each and every member of the communities already understand that this is what the forecast says, and this is the action that I need to do.
Okay, thank you.
So is there any other topic that you would like to bring up? And we still have Joyce online. Do you have any point you would like to bring up in this discussion? No. Yeah.
And then I remember we had a pending question about how to gain, yes, I know, how to gain domain knowledge when you are coming from outside climate science or something. So I still also wanted to give my own perspective. I'll get to it after that. Huh? Okay, I should. Okay, yes.
Okay, thank you, Joyce. With regards to the panel discussion, I don't know, during your survey, was there any distinction from male-headed households and female-headed households in your study area? If there are distinctions, what will be the best approach towards mainstreaming equity and with regards to climate change adaptation within these two different groups? So that is my number one question.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Then the second one has to do with knowing fully well the African understanding of gender roles. Like in the first scenario where the wife of the man was pregnant with the 11th child, what would be the best advice? Should you be in a position to give a lasting solution to some of the family dynamics within Africa that increases the equity gap to the government with regards to responsible womanhood and the likes? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for your questions. The first one, you talked about the distinction between the female-headed households and male-headed households, both in terms of access and also in terms of the adaptive capacity. So yes, in terms of access to climate information, it was still the same, lower among the female-headed households, because what we saw in these two communities were that the information was mainly shared using community forums, and also shared using the mosques, because it's predominantly Muslim community, and therefore women in these two societies do not really participate in public forums where men are present, and therefore they are left behind. And in most cases, their access to information would be based on would be based on word of mouth, and in most cases distorted. And then also in terms of adaptation or the adaptive capacity, so there is the issue of the different adaptive capacities that different groups have. So we don't want to generalize that women are more vulnerable to men, because as much as it is clearly stated, but then also there is also the difference. You'll find that maybe a woman who is employed is not the same as a man who is a pastoralist in living in a semi-arid area. So I think it's important to look into these other intersectionality characteristics to be able to make a complete judgment. But there is also the issue of access to finances among women and men, which we found out that also like women have access to women mostly have access to informal loan systems. For instance, the women group savings mechanisms, and also while men are able to access using the banks, and therefore they can be able to use maybe like their title deeds for land as collateral, and which in most cases like women do not have those the title deeds that they can use as a collateral to access a formal bank. So all this affects the adaptation, the adaptive capacity, and also the resilience ability. And therefore, it's important to have targeted empowerment initiatives that targets the needs of women from a different society, the needs of men from a different society, and also the needs of persons living with disabilities, considering that the groups are never homogeneous. And for your second question on advice on the family dynamics, I think it's a matter of advocacy, and because we find that women are mostly time poor. Therefore, it doesn't allow them to maybe participate in key forums where decisions are made, even concerning them, or the decisions that could relate to them. For instance, if you're coming up with advisories for a flood, and then you only have men participating in those forums, then it means the advisories that could address the needs of women could be challenged, or the issue of responsibilities for women collecting water in the streams during a drought, which exposes them to they have to walk for long distance, and exposing them to maybe gender-based violence cases, um, or even rape cases. And therefore we need to ensure that even in the advisories that come out are relevant and addresses to the different challenges that the different gender groups have. For instance, having like reporting mechanisms for GBV, advocating against GBV, and also like maybe having mechanisms for ensuring that there's a good justice system against GBV and rape within the communities. And then also like the family, in terms of family dynamics, being the African culture, I think someone mentioned that you'll find that girls will go to school, and then it gets to a certain period, they get married, and then that is the end. And also like in most of the marginalized communities, you'll find that there are still high cases of child marriages. And therefore, like, how can we strengthen our policies to reduce on or rather to address the issues of child marriages or school dropouts for girls, ensuring that education to a certain level is compulsory and it is actually enforced. Because you'll find, for example, in Kenya, primary education is compulsory, but sometimes you'll find children who are roaming in the streets and are being used by parents to beg for money, or even like used for cheap labor. So I think it's important to enforce the already existing laws, and maybe to strengthen those which do not address the issues of the gender issues in terms of education and in terms of access to resources.
Yeah, Joyce, thank you very much. I mean, it's getting even more complicated, but I think we can move on in the interest of time. So we have another feedback from within the hall. Okay, you are done? Okay. Then we can move on to discuss more feedback from the summer school, and I really want us to discuss this question of, yes.
So let's thank Joyce for her overview. So we would just now maybe before the coffee break take some questions from the room, education related, not necessarily gender, but all type of questions that we have. Maybe we can try to squeeze it here. Yeah, that's the point. Okay. Thanks also online participants for interview for questions and so on.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone, and wishing you a great session.
Okay, so I also want to comment a bit on the question of background. Okay, so one of you was asking about like how to run the code, no previous coding experience. And I said, okay, what you do, you don't need to learn GAN, start reading a textbook about Fortran. What you do is just the code that has already been written by the lecturers and that is already working, okay? So you just go through them and try to execute it and just try to run it and try to understand it and try to see how it responds, the values you get or the plots you get, and then with time you can get going, you understand a few things, and then you just keep on getting the knowledge. Because if you have to go and study computer science and coding from the scratch again, then it's going to be impossible. So I mean, it's the same thing I'm still going to respond, like in case you lack like domain knowledge. So nobody, not even me, not anybody here, not any of the lecturers has like complete domain knowledge about everything about climate. So what I would advise is like, and you don't have to go, of course you can do that if you want, like to go and take a new degree in meteorology and start from the scratch. but still you will not know everything. In the end, you still have to have something that is specific you are doing at any point in time. Like what Cheikh showed the day before yesterday about crop modeling, for example. I don't have any experience on that. So if you have to do something that is specific, like climate crop modeling, right? So the model you are using is not like the the climate system model is like a monster, like it's like very far away. But you basically have like simple models that have like a stable relationship between some climate variables, which you can take from observations or from reanalysis or from output of models. And from the course here, you already learned like how to take Earth system geographic data with longitude and latitude, metadata, how to open it, how to read it, how to take a time series from that and all that. So you can just, your starting point, if you have to do crop climate modeling, will be basically from this. Okay, so from there, you learn a bit about the climate variable, rainfall, so you don't have to study like a dynamical meteorology about how rainfall is generated and the thermodynamics of the atmosphere or general circulation for you to do climate crop modeling, right? So you start there. And as time goes on, you may get to understand other things more and more and more, but you have to be already doing. I'm basically trying to say that you learn more by doing with the small, because you already know statistics or mathematics or how coding or something. So you keep on going from there. So that's how to start. Like you are looking for PhD opportunity or master's opportunity or whatever, and you're approaching somebody. So you have to explain your background. You did your undergraduate, you studied mathematics, you did some undergraduate courses about physics. This is what I can do. So if you get to the institution, depending on what you want to do, they will help you to know what maybe courses you have to take to get going on your PhD. So you don't have to sit in one place and wait until you have total background knowledge before you get going. You already have something. So you should be able to know what you have, what you can offer, what you can do. And you should be able to approach me and say, this is my background, this is what I can do, right? And then there's always something that is lacking. And then a lot of it is attending short courses. I believe you guys would have learned one thing or the other. So attend summer schools, then training schools. Now there's a lot of things online, lectures, and all that. More feedback? Or more questions?
Yeah, I mean,
yes, so Jonathan, yes, okay. We are talking, there's a question from the students because people here are from different backgrounds and most of them are lacking climate science background. So the question was like, how to get started at a master's level student who doesn't have a climate science background, but maybe a background in statistics, mathematics, or physics or something.
So I think that the advice you just gave has been the most helpful for me in my career. And so just sitting down and saying, okay, I have a problem to solve, and how do I solve it? So actually getting in and seeing how things work. In terms of building domain knowledge, I would add to what was said before also that since the COVID time, there are so many excellent courses and lectures that have been published online, from relatively fundamental climate science to quite sophisticated components of Earth system science. So I would encourage people to look at those, to take some time to listen and take notes and follow along with those lectures. They've been tremendously helpful for me in teaching my own classes. So those are the two ideas that come to mind immediately.
Yeah, thank you, Jonathan. Do you have more questions or more feedbacks? Education or career related questions? Yes.
This is global. I'm not technical in climate, but I would like to understand something related to my country. And I am from Chad, Central Africa, and it is very hot there. So in terms of like 12 months in a year, so we'll have about 9 or 10 months that it's too hot. And I hate being in a hot place. So I'm thinking like, what action can I take so that can have a positive impact that change the weather so that we can live comfortable. So I was thinking like, okay, can I like start having a group of youth, like, and then we start maybe planting trees. But I'm thinking, is that possible? Is it going to answer to the problem, real problem? So like as experts, so what's like practically could be done to change this situation, like hot, where there is too much heat, and try to change the weather so that maybe in terms of 5 years, 10 years, bring a cool weather for people to live comfortable. Yeah, thanks.
Well, I mean, this is a very interesting question, which I don't have any answer to, but I want to ask you like a question back, like traditionally, like people in the past, I don't know, 100 years ago, what was the people's coping mechanisms from the heat?
Since he was born,
But yeah, so the people don't do anything, they just bear the heat.
even policies, they start like holding meetings, but nothing. The thing is going, we are just like every year the same weather.
Yeah, well, I mean, what I would think,
Weather change, as experts, so I would like to understand, like, according to this situation, so what could be like suggestion, I don't know, something like this, related to this.
okay, so someone is raising up their hand. Let's see, maybe she has answer for you. After I may have a comment to make on that.
I would like to suggest like you can start with planting tree. And the solution is making place for cooler environment. Like there is some example in India, they create like a space where they put some using basic things like the woods and some stuff, local stuff, and they prepare like an area which is the cooler space in one village, for example. And when it is hot, people used to go there and sit. And the benefit of that is that they expand it in other places. So if you start with one kind of cooler space in one location, and the next year you expand it, so you will and planting tree by the same time, you will have I think that you will feel like you are in a cooler space, cooler area. I think it's just suggestion and kind of starting. You feel it. You have to do something to make your life better. So you have to start by yourself and planting tree in your home, in the making some garden in each village or each city, making like a space where children can go and enjoy life.
Okay.
It is a very good ideas. And I want to add also think to adapt on the climate change. Yes, but the constriction, you can we need to think how to adapt on climate change. It is here. We cannot do anything. We just need to adapt ourselves. And first is where we live, the construction, the material that we use, and we know, yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you want to talk about this? Okay. So I want us to deal with this first, and then we come.
Yeah, thank you for my friend in Chad. It's indeed it's very hot in Chad, but I am not expert in ecological. But as climate scientist, it's believed to need to improve your impact bias forecast for as you are you have background mathematics, right? Yeah, you can, for example, try to improve, for example, impact bias forecast using climate data and vulnerability data. And you try to see, for example, what the heat will do with the people and the system, not try to do the forecast for heat or temperature. It's simple. But when you improve another model or to build another model, for example, using climate data and vulnerability data, and for example, health data, you can create the new thing for your country. But this thing is maybe very easy for if you have background mathematics, for example, using AI.
So maybe I just know he's asking a different topic. So maybe I just say something on this topic, not like a solution, but a bit of a perspective from large-scale climate change point of view. So if, as we believe that climate change is actually true, well, you can start like with building or planting trees or something. But if the climate change is actually true, it means that over time, this problem is going to be solved, because climate change basically means if the atmosphere is warmer generally, then the tropical convection and rainfall belt is going to expand. And if that happens, it means that a place like Chad that is kind of dry, the more rainfall like you have in equatorial part of Africa is going to expand a bit further to the north into Chad, and that will help you to plant trees. And I think there are some regreening, like from satellite images from local environment, also a kind of regreening of the Sahel, which is where we are today. So I mean, going into the next, if everything, climate change continues, so this will actually maybe be beneficial for your people in this respect.
Sorry to interrupt. I mean, you have to first coffee break. Yeah. Otherwise, you are going really to get late again for the. But yeah, maybe you can take that.
Okay. Okay, so I recently heard about a concept called cloud seeding, and it happened mostly in the United Arab Emirates. So I was curious about what is the effect of of cloud seeding on climate change. Yeah, thank you.
That type of geoengineering. Oh, yeah. Because I mean, this is the question about geoengineering, like putting IFO and right next, or changing I can say the carbon capture yeah.
Yes. So
but this has been seeding has been going on, and China's doing this and so on. Yeah, this is I'm not
no
some studies looking at the climate effects but related to the cloud feedbacks and so on. But yeah, probably
I'm not
you
able
can give you exactly how much how much of the radiative effect due to the cloud seeding will impact the climate forcing and so on. But probably there are some studies already going on. But it comes to geoengineering, injecting aerosols in the low stratosphere and then changing the incoming solar radiation, and then in order to counteract the tropospheric warming due to climate change, but it is not solving the problem. It is just delaying the problem, because if you inject aerosols, you are going to modify the chemistry of the stratosphere, especially ozone, which is quite important. It plays an important role in the human health, but at the same time, you are not solving the emission issue. You are just delaying the emission issue. There are a lot of studies. I have one paper looking at these aerosols effect on the climate, on the stratospheric circulations, and also how that impact to surface climate. But yeah, it's a very important point. It has been going for a while, cloud seeding. There definitely provides some studies. We could Google maybe send you some people looking really at this project feedback of cloud seeding to the surface climate.
Yeah, I think he wanted to ask, because the chat is very hot, whether you could see the cloud to get more rainfall. Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah, so this is also a part of the answer to your question. You can see the cloud and potentially get some rainfall. I don't know how expensive or how reliable that could be. But yeah, so his question was like, his country chat is too hot, and he's asking what he can do to make it less hot or something.
I mean, when it comes to geoengineering, there is governmental issues. There are a lot of stuff. I mean, there are a lot of studies going on actually all around the world. But I know some couple of people on NCAR, like Simon Tilmes, who's using Wacom and doing this kind of type of studies. They also have a project where they collaborate with some people in South Africa, I think, looking at the geoengineering effect on precipitation, on surface temperatures, as well as also on impact studies. It is really ongoing stuff, but there is a governmental, it has to be governed. If we decide to do geoengineering, who is going to take the responsibility to put there? And yeah, there are also several studies. There is a project at the WCRP, it's called Climate Intervention. There was recently even on, how we can say, a workshop, online workshop, just to look at what is going on around. They are working at this kind of issues, the climate intervention, like aerosols, other type of species, to everything related to geoengineering. Yeah. It's still a very hot topic, and yeah, I would say, let's say, indicate how it will involve. But it is a lot of debate. Yeah, who should do that? How we should do that? Also, there is technological issues. How to develop? Is it rocket? We are using rockets. What type of aerosol you're using? Is it like a gas phase, solid phase? Other kind of species that does not affect ozone? Yeah, it's really a very interesting topic, I would say.
Yeah, maybe I just make my own final comment on this. So because we're on a summer school here, or a training school here, this is like the difference. It's good you know this between engineering and science, at least the way I understand this from my interaction with people. Because if you tell engineers like, oh, there's climate change, that's it. Yeah, so this is because of greenhouse effect, aerosols can cool. Then let's inject aerosols into the atmosphere, or let us there are some studies now trying to say, what if you change the albedo, that is the capacity of the surface to reflect solar radiation into the atmosphere, which is like putting mirrors on the ground, because the surface has to absorb radiation and use it to warm. Right. So from an engineering point of view, climate intervention or climate modification is something very simple and straightforward. So you just need to calculate the cost and see how to do it. But to us, from a climate or physical science point of view, we really want to understand what the implication of that would be. I mean, you remember the lecture about ozone layer depletion because we're using chlorofluorocarbon. So you don't really know where that is going to lead to. And that is where modeling is very, very important, because in modeling, you are just dealing with equation, dealing with computing power. You are not affecting anybody's health. You are not affecting the real physical climate. So that is why it is good that you guys come in and think you're already motivated because you've seen problems that need solution. So this is like a kind of welcome to climate science for all of you. That in climate science, we want to understand the process. That is always the point. So you can do everything you do, but we want to understand what are the processes, what are the implications, where will it lead us to? Yeah.
Coffee break.
Yeah, I think now is coffee break and we can continue the discussions at the coffee around.
So thank you everyone. I think we are 30 minutes delayed, but let's thank everyone who attended online and all your feedbacks. And we probably shorten the coffee break. Instead of 30 minutes, we try to do 20 minutes. We have 4 groups who would like to present something. And then, yeah, we give you the certificates and then we can wrap up, okay? So, thank you. Enjoy your coffee break. Yes, you can, but try to be short. Yeah, I think you have to squeeze everything that we are not going above the time.
Becoming lengthy.
So,
The discussion this morning.
yes.
It's becoming lengthy.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Hey, comment vas-tu? Ça va, la forme? Ça va, ça va. So who would like to go first? You. Awesome. Go ahead. Do you want to share something else? Are you already connected on Zoom? You have to connect on Zoom and then you can share your screen. You have the link via email. So now we have at least a couple of participants that managed to work on something, on a mini project. And yeah, and the first one here we'll present is Hadija Megrawi, is correct? Yeah, from Morocco. She's sharing her screen. Next one. So who would like to be next? You take care of it. Okay. You? Yeah, because I'm going to prepare it.
Okay. Then
Next, and then you. I got you together.
okay.
And then you have Paul there.
Yeah.
And you have Thomas.
Okay. Yes.
Let me speak and then Thomas.
So if you are going to give a presentation, just remember to connect to Zoom so that it's easy to. Yes, I think I've admitted you. Share your screen. Yes. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Can I start?
Yes.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. My name is Khadija Barawi. I'm from Morocco, and this is my friend Amani. She's from Egypt, and today we are presenting our mini project titled Effect of Epoch and Batch Size Variation on Model Performance, a case study on downscaling and climate predictions. So our first case study, we have considered the same unit architecture presented by Professor Ridwan, and we have tried to downscale low resolution precipitation into high resolution data set for the same variable, which is precipitation. In this slide, we can see for the first line, the baseline, which is proposed by Professor Ridwan, where we can see a number of epochs of 20, a batch size of 32 images, and an optimizer, the optimizer of Adam W. For our second try, we have considered an increasing of the number of epochs where we have used 30 epochs and a batch size of 64 and the same Adam optimizer. Here, by analyzing the mean absolute error between the baseline and our first try, we can see that the mean absolute error increased, which means that this second try is worse compared to the baseline. And for the tree line, we can see the same number of epochs of 20, but size of 32, which are the same hyperparameters like the baseline. However, we have changed it to optimizer. So for the third line, we have considered the optimizer of Lion, which is considered more robust compared to Adam W. However, with comparing the first line and the third line, we can see that they provided almost the same results. So in this slide, we have proposed some analysis where we have indicated that increasing the batch size or the number of epochs can influence our model performance. However, we should try to fix the correct number or change the number and try different values to get good results. And to answer the question of Professor Ridwan concerning handling missing or empty data in downscaling, we can consider, for example, spatial interpolation. For example, with empty values, we can consider calculating the mean value or the inverse distant weight, where we will calculate the new values considering the distance between empty value and other values. Or we can consider also generative models to fill the gaps using generative networks, where we will calculate or reconstruct data based on our input datasets. For our second case study, we have also considered predicting maximum radar reflectivity by using two-dimensional convolutional neural network. And the model will use 32 by 32 inputs. So in this first part, we have the baseline with 20 epochs and the batch size of 32. However, for our second test, we have considered a number of epochs of 30 with a batch size of 16. Here we can see, for example, that the error of the loss function has decreased. And we can see also that by comparing the scatter plots of the two tests, our try is better by analyzing the linear relationship provided between the predicted and true values. So here we can say that even if the correlation between predicted and true values is good, however, by analyzing the difference between the two provided, mean absolute error is still small. So we can consider the baseline or our test as good. Both are good for predicting the maximum radar reflectivity. And to summarize our mini projects, we can see for deep learning, they are considered as, or deep learning models are considered as black box architecture. So for decision makers, or even for experts, they cannot determine how the model arrived to, our models arrive to outputs considering the inputs. So we should train or apply algorithms of explainability to give the ability to meteorologists to understand how deep learning or how our algorithms determine the output to be trusted. And for studying hyperparameters values, we can consider the hyperparameter optimization techniques by giving a large scale of values and training different sets. So the model will provide the good combination considering different parameters. And regarding datasets, so based on my field expertise, which is geospatial datasets, I can recommend collecting datasets from areas instead of using public datasets or empty datasets. So this was our mini project, and thank you for your attention.
Yes, feedback.
Well done. Thank you for the presentation. Please, which of these curves or denote your base model and the one you effected your change on?
Yeah, you didn't label your axis.
So this is the base model. This is the exercise from yesterday. So this was provided by Professor Maria, and this is our test. And regarding the changes between the two parts, so we have a number of epochs of 20, and here we have a number of epochs of 30, and here we have a batch size of 32, and here 16. So this is our test.
Green is the black is the one that you use to train. Depending on how many you use to train, 10 years?
How many?
Years you use for training?
How many?
Years of data, like
iterations? One.
I mean, you have an input data, and then you have to split the input data
into training.
like training part.
Okay, the percentage.
And
Okay.
testing. Here you use the validation part to see
I see.
how your loss function is doing a quite good job compared to the validation. And yeah, the orange one is the validation. It can be 2 years, can be 5, depending how long your data set are.
Actually, I'm concerned about the
So as I explained before, we have considered the same hyperparameters for from the statistics exercise. However, we have changed only the number of epochs and the number of or the size of the batch size. Information about? No.
Maybe there's a second question for you here. Okay, can you pass the microphone?
Okay, thank you for your amazing presentation. My question is more about the epoch and the batch size. In the left, you use, for example, 20 epoch and 32 batch size. But here you change the epoch and you change also the batch size. I want to know what are you trying to find, for example, because according to me, you can fix, for example, I don't know, the batch size and try, for example, to change, yeah, and try to see what's happened. But you change the buff. I don't understand what you are trying to find.
So for deep learning models, they are based on training using different hyperparameters. So for our test, our idea was to increase the epoch, so to help the model see more and more the data set. And for the batch size, it's like increasing the part of the data set it will be seen by the model. So it's like helping the model to get more information from our data set. So that's why we have changes the two hyperparameters. However, as I said at the end, deep learning models are based on testing different values for hyperparameters. This can be one test. You can do your test. She can do her test. However, we should train different parts and choose the appropriate one for our application, considering our data set.
Thank you for this amazing presentation. Can you go back on previous slide, I think? No, again, where we have pictures of where we have climate yeah, okay, yeah. So here you said the first one, I mean, you performed this experiment and you said the first one, the baseline, and the last one has similar performance. But I was concerned about the second image, because for me it looks like it's not the same image like the others. Like my question is, how do you decide? Why do you say that this one was not performing as well as the baseline? Like from which yeah, I don't.
For this slide, and to compare the performance of the three models, I have considered the scale bar here of the mean absolute error. By analyzing or comparing the first one with the third one, we can see the same values for both. So that's why I have said here we are moving from 1 to 1.5. So this one is worse than this one. However, by comparing the values of this scale to the last one, we can see the same values. So this was the basis of my analysis.
Yeah, we can continue the discussion. That was brilliant. Thank you very much. And then, yeah, you can stop sharing, and then you can. Yeah, you can share and start. Don't worry, your team members will join you. Yeah. Put it. Yeah, just share your screen. Yes. No. This is share.
In chat, you know, the green area after screen.
Or you can share your presentation. Okay, team 2. Yes. Then play presentation mode.
Is it good?
Yes, take the
Okay.
microphone.
Yes. Hi, everyone, and also hello to all the online participants.
Your team?
Yes. So we are 4 of the participants. I'm honored to present our group. We are composed of Pape Mali Diop from Senegal. He's a rising star as a data scientist in Senegal. And also we have Isaac Yameogo from Met Service at Burkina Faso, and Maury Truth from Met Senegal Agency. And I'm Semin Shim. I'm working on climate adaptation from South Korea. So our project is titled Multitasking Projection Capabilities of CNN to Classify Severe Convection Storms. Our presentation covered why we chose this topic, and then goes to the more elaboration of data and methodology. And lastly, we will present our outcomes. Yes. So from here, our colleague Isaac will introduce the topic.
Good morning, everyone. And now I can reach the motivation about our project. The first thing for this project is to apply the deep learning techniques in the climate science. This is the first challenge in this project. The second thing is developing a solid understanding about the hands-on project we see yesterday with Prof. Maria. It's the project called First CNN. Okay, this mini project is based on this hands-on project, and finally it is to explore another method to improve the performance of CNN in the detection of thunderstorm. Okay, it is the motivation of our project. For me, the question is, can the multitask convolutional neural network be constructed to simultaneously classify convective storm and estimate their intensity? If we remember, tomorrow in the hands-on project, Prof. Maria make this in the 2 ways. First, we make the architecture, CNN architecture for detection of thunderstorm, and the second, we make a regression task in order to achieve the prediction of intensity. After discussion with us, Yes, we can manage to make this task with one architecture of CNN. It is the purpose of our project. Thanks. Okay, the data, it's the same like hands-on project. It's based on the simulation of WRF, and WRF, and it you use some input like radar reflectivity to detect the thunderstorm, the cloud top temperature. The thunderstorm is and the second is the helicity about the thunderstorm. And in our data, we have some alternative input like wind speed, vorticity, precision, and that. But we don't use this, but it's possible to use this in order to improve the detection of thunderstorm. First, like I give the floor to Malik for the second. Okay. We can present something. Here we have the radar reflectivity. We can see the thunderstorm here with the more color, and the same here for the temperature and the helicity. We can see this in this image. Okay, we let the floor for the architecture of our model.
Yeah, thank you. So our methodology is a very basic architecture for that. So we coupled our input images, passing it in a single backbone for extracting feature importance. So we had three blocks of convolutional blocks. In it, we have some convolutional coupled with a batch node ReLU and a dropout for dealing with the overfitting, and a max pooling for downsampling images. So with that, we complete the output is two specialized heads. One is for classification task. So to maybe to answer the question, where is the thunderstorms? So we can classify different type of thunderstorm by their severity. Like this one is severe, or this one is not severe. 1 or 0. And the second heads is a regression task, so that we can when we answer the question like where are the thunderstorms, so we can answer the second question is how much, like the for the intensity of the thunderstorm. So this is our basic architecture we propose for that one, and it works actually. So we got some result here. Here we can see the loss function, the total loss function. There is two loss function. This is for the classification loss, and this is for the regression loss. So for the total loss, we did the sum with some weights in the regression loss. So we can observe here the accuracy for the classification F1 score, and the regression MIE error score. So here is the mean square error we have. Like for the normalized targets, we have 0.3, the RMS 0.5, which is not so bad for our task, and an MIE error also 0.2. For the regression, this is how to say like the regression the scores on the original scale. And here we have the result of the classification task. So for the accuracy, we got 0.9, and for the F1 score, we actually in 0.7, which is maybe not so bad for our task. So the deal was to propose an architecture for both classification and regression task. So perspective, maybe we can we can try to find the best architecture by including some time series analysis, like with time series analysis for that. So for that, we have some model like LSTMs or residual blocks for that. So we were just thinking of a simple architecture for that. So for perspective, we plan to deal with including time series analysis for that and applying local data. So this data are located in US, so we can try to use some local data here and dealing with other parameters like precipitation or even thunderstorm for that. Yeah, here is some bibliography for that. We based on the work of my Prof. Marina, and for the notebook, yes, here is a link if you want to check maybe the code actually. So yeah, it is still in improvement. So thank you very much.
Thank you a lot, but yeah, sorry. I don't want to do the presentation. Why? Because it is ethic. I didn't have a time to contribute in this work, but thank my team and discuss. Let discuss. You can
yeah, you contribute to the questions. Yes.
Okay, please, can you come back to the confusion matrix? I want to see some. Yeah, I see here you have just present two matrix. So I want to know how about the recall, the precision, the AUC rock, I don't know. And your data is balanced or unbalanced? That is my question.
Yeah, the data is very unbalanced, like Prof. Marina presented yesterday. So for the metrics, can you go, please? Yeah, for the metrics, we just calculate the accuracy and the F1 score. So of course, we can also try to check the how to say the recall or the proportion of true positive. Here we can see 300A3 of 3 positive and 6 for false positive. So we can check also the proportion of false positive for analysis. But here we just evaluate the accuracy and the F1 score, because we think the F1 score can definitely define the performance of the classification task for now. Yeah, did I respond to your question? Oh, okay.
I mean, there was hand up here.
Thank you for your nice presentation. So my question is about this classification. So which thunderstorm parameters are you referring to do this classification?
Who answers?
Yeah. Okay, if you remember, it's the in the data the data we have some already classified the thunderstorm, and we use some classification based on the detection of radar reflectivity and the cloud top. It is this parameter using the data to I think to detect the thunderstorm. It's already detecting the labeling in the data, if I understand.
Okay, so we take one last question for you, and we can continue the discussions over lunch and.
For the result. Okay. No, the confusion matrix. Okay. Yeah, for this, did you focus to improving the accuracy or the F1 score? Which one did you focus to improve the accuracy or the F1 score?
Okay, just.
Okay. Can you go to the architecture? Yes. You're calling it multitask. Did you train it at once? And if you did train it at once, how did you join the loss function, the two, because they have different loss functions. One of them is classification, another one is regression. So how did you join them so that when you're doing backprop, it will work? Thank you.
Okay, so you just answered the two questions all at once.
So for the metrics, yeah, for the classification, did we try to improve the score? So yeah, we first try to modeling the things, but we got some bad scores at first. So we try to deal with the class imbalance. So we checked the class was very imbalanced. So we didn't have so high a very good F1 score like 0.7 at the first. So yeah, we try first with the class imbalance. So we and after that we see the F1 score is being increased as the accuracy score also. So I don't know if I understand, if I respond to your question about the loss function. Yeah, we had two loss functions. The first is for the classification and the second is for the regression. So what we did, we create a loss function that combined both, like the summation of both of two loss functions. So we had one loss function for both of two headers, two outputs. And that's why we have here, yeah, this is the first loss function for the classification, and this is the loss function for the regression task. So the defined loss function is the total loss function.
Okay, so I think we can understand them again. And who is the next group?
Yes. And then we can take the one.
Yeah, are you connected to Zoom? Yes. Just join the Zoom link and then you can share your screen directly on the. Yeah.
The same for you.
Thomas, are you ready? Okay. Or maybe we can take Thomas if he's more. Yeah, we can go with you. Yes. So you can just share your screen and. Yes, it's there. Just put in presentation mode. Yeah, then you can introduce yourself.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Thomas, as I informed you last time. So I'm going to present to you about African Task Team, which is led by RIFS, Regional Information for Society, which is part of the World Climate Research Program. So the African Task Team focus on robust information for decision for African climate adaptation efforts. So we have, we are encountering a climate change challenge. That's obvious. So in order to address this challenge, so we need data. We need data. So this data or this information can be used for societal adaptation efforts. So that's actually the pressing need, the most interesting need that we are going to encounter. So if you see the climate change adaptation efforts, so we have communities of information. We scientists are here. So we are producing, generating a lot of data, climate information, forecasts, reanalysis, observations, a lot of data which are related with climate. There is a society here, community that use the information. That's the end user, okay? So there is source of data, and there's a user here. The problem here is, the challenge here is, there's a gap between these two. So the scientists that produce climate information and the users, there's a gap. That's the missing middle, so a kind of intermediary work, or a kind of coordinating these two domains, two sectors, yeah, connecting these two sectors, because we produce a lot of information. We must be sure that this information has to be used by the society, by the community. Otherwise, it's nonsense, yeah? So we identify this as middle missing. This is the task of RIPS, the task of the Regional Information for Society under World Climate Research Program. So, to some extent, the World Climate Research Program. So the World Climate Research Program has the core projects, including APARC, the one organized this workshop. So one of them is also RIPS, so Regional Information for Society. So Regional Information for Society is among the 6 core projects of WCRP. So that's the structure of RIPS. So the mandate of RIPS is to coordinate the activities, the tasks, data production or information, climate information, and the user, yeah? So it's to coordinate or to fill the missing gap or the missing middle. So that's the main task of RIPS. Under RIPS, recently, RIPS established African Task Team, that's African Initiative. So within that African Initiative, there is African Task Team. There are some people from the continent who are working to fill the missing gap or the missing middle. So it's regional, it's continental. So the African Task Team, existing and ongoing actions, emerging conversations, challenging landscapes and the society. So those things are covered by the African Task Team. That's a commitment of African Task Team. So the goal is, the goal for African Task Team is about climate information, robust climate information, reliable climate information, and climate and the context literacy. So it's focusing on these issues, on this agenda. So climate risk, resilience to climate impacts. This is another goal that the African Task Team needs to cover. Transdisciplinary approach to follow multidisciplinary, transdisciplinary approach in order to address African challenge, and at the end, lesson learned. So to collect different lessons learned from different projects across the continent, and scale up maybe those good lessons that has been learned. So those are the goals of the African Task Team. In terms of structure, so the task team has 12 scientists from the continents, from Africa. One of them is Cheikh here, one of the task team members. So we have another Senegalese here, and from the entire continent, we have 12 scientists who are working on this missing middle. I'm the science officer, and we are recently we are recruiting 2 postdocs that are going to work on the information side and on the user side. So those postdocs will be identified soon, and they will join us in this mission. So this is the general structure of the African Task Team. So this initiative is funded by CLARE. CLARE is a kind of joint initiative by UK and Canada. So the fund for this initiative has been obtained from CLARE program. Thank you. So join us So this is, you can subscribe the reps activities you can follow, and you can follow us on LinkedIn. So you can scan this barcodes, and you can email also. Then we can respond to your queries. Yeah, thank you so much. I would like to thank Moha for inviting me to Dakar here to this wonderful trainings. Thank you so much. Thank you, all of you.
Do we have questions or feedbacks? No hands up. Okay.
So my question is related to collaboration with the institution. Since we are here, a team of a group of students and PhD and early career researcher, how do you plan to make like this a starting point of collaboration between your institution and all of us here? What is the possibilities like if we start from today? What is the opening door for us tomorrow and to join, like to make some collaboration? Because we stated earlier in the first day that we face problem of funding and problem of getting involved in a large community of researcher and conference and meeting like international meetings. So that's my question. Thank you for your talk.
So I also have a question for you. So you just take two of them at once. So it's more specific about the postdoc. Has it been advertised already?
Okay, thank you so much for the questions. So we recently launched. So you saw the postdoc call. So these two postdocs are going to be selected from Africa, and they are going to work in Africa throughout the continent. So each postdoc can be work in 3 different countries. Try to cover the continent. That's our ambitious goal. So this is, it's advertised, and we are going to complete the recruitment. No, it's gone. So okay, let me finish. So so these postdocs in the new year, they will be on board, and we will through them we'll try to reach out some opportunities, some challenges. So that's something which we are thinking. Maybe this type of workshop, which is organized by APARC, this is very interesting. Maybe I can talk to my boss to have such type of workshop meetings and different things. That can be also possible. Hopefully, we can think of these issues in our planning. So the postdoc is already. So we are recruiting. So we are interviewing people. So yeah.
We have more questions for him. You can use the microphone.
Hello, I was just reading the chat.
Oh,
yes.
Comment on it. You can read it.
Yeah, he's asking if you have PhD, Thomas.
You mean PhD opportunities?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have PhD, like opportunity to collaborate with PhD students or something? I know you are not an academic institution, but possibly getting PhD students involved in your project.
Yeah, it's by the way, this is the first initiative in the continent. So this initiative has been started in Africa. So this is the first experience. So we started as me as science officer and the 2 postdocs. So this is our initial point, and we don't know how it will go in the future. So we don't have any plan related with PhD or something like that for the time being. Yeah.
More questions? We thank Thomas again. and you can stop sharing. So, yes. Okay. And then we take the last talk. Or did you want to have questions for Thomas?
I just wanted to share maybe like, yeah, usually the information that is distributed is not really accessible to everyone if you are not directly connected to WCRP network. Yeah. So maybe as you are more looking on the regional climate information, especially focusing in Africa, you should think also about sharing the information with African networks, not only putting on a WCRP. Not everyone will be, I mean, our WCRP has already a network of African people who attended an African database, but it would be also really very important to share it both this network. I mean, this is an opportunity maybe also to share more the information to reach larger amount of people that are really valuable to such kind of a project.
Yeah, maybe to add to that, it also helps if the participants can follow like WCRP or IPCC or the different bodies on social media, on LinkedIn or Facebook or X. Yes, so that if there's information, you can also get to know about it.
Okay, should I just hold it? I'm Semin Shim, and I'm very impressed by the Regional Information for Societies activities, and especially I'm working on locally led adaptation in Africa. I would like to know if you have any like research agenda or like a rising issues that will be interesting in terms of more like locally led adaptation in Africa. Like, is there any, like, can you just suggest a few topics that has been arising or more like a trendy these days in terms of adaptation in Africa? Yeah.
It's because our first initiative is to have these postdocs on board. So one postdoc is going to work on climate data for adaptation. The other postdoc is going to work on climate data for user community. So it's a kind of climate society type of interaction. So yeah, those are the things that can be researched, explored by the two postdocs. So yeah, that's the initiative that we are going to see in the near future. Maybe your requests can be entertained, maybe part of these postdocs, I'm not sure.
Staff of like papers that have been recently published or discussed. Is there any like place I can find information? What will be more like recent research?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a kind of we submitted like proposal for Claire, so that's on proposal, and then now we are just starting our task. So it's like I started my job like 3 months ago, 3 months ago. So it's at initial state.
Okay, thank you very much. Voilà. Okay, my name is Paul Joaquin Batista. I am a PhD student in Dakar and Cheikh Anta Diop. Okay, I introduce my title is a short-term hourly rainfall prediction, a hybrid approach with LSTM and time gun. Okay. There are some summary, context and issue.
You can put the presentation. You can present.
Okay, see.
Can you go to view
Mm.
and put like in post remote?
Small.
No.
Development. Attends, je vois. Tout à l'heure, c'était bon. C'était bon. Il veut qu'on zoome ça, non? Ok, c'est bon.
No.
C'est bon.
Oh.
Qu'est-ce qu'il fait? Bon, je pense que c'est bon, ou bien ça ne dérange pas. On commence.
Yeah, so you can.
Okay. Bon, we are talking about context and issue. The repercussions of global warming are increasingly heavy but erratic rainfall, and the consequence is numerical weather prediction models becoming increasingly obsolete. And nowadays, rainfall forecasting a major challenge in West Africa because there are disaster impact on water quality and management, agricultural production, and food security, as well as sanitation and health. And artificial intelligence, a new early for meteorologists. In 2022, the first artificial models for digital weather forecasting were developed by tech giants. First, we have FocusNet, designed by NVIDIA, Pengu Weather, developed by Huawei, GraphCast, developed by DeepMind, Climax, developed by Microsoft and University of Los Angeles. And last, we are Fengwu, they were designed by Shanghai AI Lab in China. Okay. And in this slide, we are the summary diagram of the AI model presented here. And we observe it, the all of model use era 5 data. Okay. Voilà, we are talking about era 5 data. Era 5 data is a fifth generation reanalysis of global climate produced by ECMPW. We can find era 5 data in Copernicus Climate Data Store, Earth Engine Data Catalog, and Google Cloud Storage. And the characteristics of era 5 data is spatial and temporal, a good climate variable, quality and precision, resolution, good resolution, and the application is climate research with forecasting climate change. And in this slide, we describe the extraction and preparation of our data to use for training my models. And we are here, we have the meteorological parameter. I just description. Okay, and the method, we use the model deep learning. And we are here in the description of RNN. Okay, and function. Donc, the problem is the RNN are vanishing effect, donc the limitation. Donc, and we have the LSTM, description of LSTM. Voilà. The group GL, BLSTM. Okay, and we describe is a time gun. The time gun is a generative adversarial network. Voilà. Proposed by Jensen. Voilà. In Canada. And the architecture of they are RNN auto-encoder to capture the temporal dynamics. And we have the GAN to reduce the realistic data. And we have a supervised loss. And here we have the optimization diagram. You see, we are here block diagram and training schema. Voilà. Donc ici, in this slide, we have the architecture of hybrid prediction model with time guard. Voilà. Donc, we have ici data pre-processing. We use ERA5 methodology parameter, and the input of time gun model. And after we created synthetic data, and the synthetic data is the input of our models to give us a prediction. A presentation of results. Voilà. Ici, in this slide, we have the result with the time gun. We have is two visualization. We have the qualitative assessment of diversity. We use PCA result and the distribution stochastic. And we observe it, we have the same, we not comparative real and synthetic data. And we have quantitative assessment of fidelity. Voilà. We have accuracy. We classify synthetic data and true data. And we observe it, the model cannot define the above. And here we observe it, see, is better to train with synthetic data. It's better. It's more better to train synthetic data. Voilà. And there is we have the result, you see, and the scatter plot of the prediction with time gun LSTM hybrid model. We have the evolution of actual and predicted precipitation based on test data. We have a good prediction, and we have in this slide we visualize the error, error maps. In this is a date, voilà. And we observing here we have the precipitation error and the correlation, and we observe it. There is a good model prediction. Voilà. Or the next step is to strengthen our hybrid model, validate this model, and for use real data, voilà. Voilà. And use interpretive explain AI method for measure climate change on rainfall. Voilà. Thank you for your attention. My English is not very good, voilà.
I saw different models based on residual blocks. I was asking all of these models, what was all of this model? Was it for the evolution of your work, or did you use a combined models for that? The different models based on residual blocks. Was it an hybrid model, or it was you were showing the evolution of your works?
The evolution of my works.
Les modèles que j'ai vous avez utilisé tous les modèles pour l'ensemble de finance, bien c'était les étapes d'évolution de votre travail.
Ah oui, Bon, je ne sais pas si I can speak French because my English is.
Yeah, you can also speak. Yeah, I think many people understand you.
Right. Bon, Diallo, I can speak French for this one. Voilà. Voilà. Reprends ta question, s'il te plaît.
Des modèles
Mhm.
qui sont basés des résultats, les blocs résultats pour les time series. Je
Ouais.
me demandais
Mhm.
si c'était ces différents modèles, c'était chaque étape de l'évolution de votre travail, vous utilisez différents modèles,
Mhm.
pour à la fin choisir un seul modèle,
Mhm.
bien vous avez utilisé tous ces modèles, vous avez fait un modèle technique au final.
OK. Oui, en fait, la question, c'est quoi? En fait, l'objectif, c'est de pouvoir avoir le meilleur modèle, en fait, parmi les variantes de RNN. Voilà. Donc, qu'est-ce qu'on a fait? En fait, j'ai pris pour les mêmes datasets, après avoir obtenu mes synthétiques data, après, j'ai fait l'apprentissage pour chaque variante. Et après, maintenant, j'ai conclu en utilisant les métriques qu'on connaît déjà, MAE, RMSE, et ainsi de suite. Et à partir de là, on a conclu que ici, la meilleure variante, c'est le LSTM. Voilà, c'est le LSTM qui a été retenu. Voilà. Et après, les résultats que je vous ai montrés tout à l'heure, c'est avec c'est la variante LSTM que j'ai pu projeter ici. Voilà, c'est que j'ai utilisé ici pour faire la prédiction. Voilà. Donc, oui.
Other questions? Does someone want to do one few sentence summary of what was discussed? Or you can just go and ask questions.
Je voulais savoir, par rapport aux données synthétiques, est-ce sur la base de données d'observation que vous pouvez utiliser, est-ce qu'on peut faire une prédiction par rapport aux indices liés à la santé? Genre, oui, c'était.
Sorry, can you also repeat the question in English, if you can, also in the interest of the online people?
Yeah, my question is related to the synthetic data. So, is it possible to use this process and to use this process in order to create like a prediction related to heat index or related to health? Yeah.
Okay, so you can also answer. Yeah, you can also answer.
It is possible. C'est possible. Parce qu'en fait, TimeGAN, comme son nom l'indique, c'est un modèle qui permet en fait de générer des données synthétiques qui sont temporelles en fait. The temporal data. When you have a temporal data, we can use TimeGAN. It's specific for temporal data.
Par rapport, quand on obtiendra des résultats à travers ce test-là, quel sera le degré de significativité? Comment est-ce qu'on pourra évaluer la significativité des résultats? Oui, est-ce qu'il y aura des tests supplémentaires?
Dans TimeGAN, en fait, l'auteur Jinson a prévu ce qu'on appelle des paramètres qui permettent en fait de mesurer en fait l'apprentissage de votre modèle. Donc, vous avez ici la visualisation en 2D qui permet de comparer les données synthétiques et les données réelles. Ouais. Donc, à part de là, vous avez également ce qu'on appelle une comparer fidélité, c'est-à-dire voir. Donc, tous ces paramètres-là, en fait, c'est typiquement pour le TimeGAN. Donc, de toute façon, c'est documenté. Après, je peux vous donner après les articles qui découlent de ce travail-là. Voilà. Il n'y a pas de test.
Yes, so let's thank Paul again. So I hand over to Moha for the formal closing ceremony. Yes. So the discussions can continue from lunch back to your hotels and to everywhere, but we have to kind of close.
So let's thank all the speakers and online people. So before we wrap up, I would say first, I think I've shared the screen. Yeah, maybe, yeah. First of all, I would like to thanks everybody, the attendees, all the people who have applied, like 1,300 people who have applied. And as I was saying, you are the luckiest who have been selected. Yeah, I think, yeah, at least we try to do our best to give the opportunity to the online people to attend. So thanks to all of you for the interest you showed and for being here and leaving all what you have been doing home and attending the school. I hope you have made the most of it, because it's not oftentimes we get these opportunities in Africa, but we hope like the wind will change, that it will blow more and more toward Africa, and because there are so many talented and young generation that is needed to pick up things where it has been left, and also to make the voice of Africa being heard about all the domains, not only climate but beyond. Because as you see, we all hope that the AI will be the equalizer to help close the gaps, because most of African countries, you know, each country has its own struggle, its own urgent need, but hopefully also there will be some more collaboration between scientists. Even the government are more complicated, but at scientist level also things can be done. So I would like to thank all our partners actually who have made also this school possible. APARC from the WCRP, ESMO support via Maria, so Reefs via Thomas, here ERD via Redwan, who has been here online. Also ARIP, Reanalization Intercomparison, I think Jonathan have been always here online. Yeah, and all the organizing community, because not only the people that we have seen online, there are also people behind, especially I would say the AIMS team, because I would not expect something better. Yeah, to be honest, yeah, it's not only like an institution, but it's a family. That's I like the most about it, and well organized, and Europe, like I would say, world standards. If it was not AIMS team, I don't think we will be able to manage to do it in just 1 month. Everything you have seen here is just less than 1 month, and thanks to Kura, who is leading the brain. Yeah, thanks to Aisatu, who was also really has done really a beautiful work of getting all the hotels and the food, the setups, and so on. Yeah, thanks to her, she was not able to be here. Yeah, thanks to also Ibrahima and Maria Gat, who are behind the, you know, the budget stuff and so on. Yeah, thanks to her, thanks to them. We also really also thanks Marijan, who was actually one who organized all the transport, and you know, like if you have been transported from the hotels to here without any problems and so on, is because of her. She really made a tremendous work. Maybe we can, she's not here. Yeah. Dakar, yes, yeah. 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 And then also we thank also Buba, who is also here around, always helping with the pictures, the setups, and so on. Yeah, if you don't know him, he's the tall guy with the hearts always around. And then we, yeah, we don't forget our IT, Jallo. He really was helpful on all the stuff, like in all levels, I would say, not only here, the certificate we are going to get, or the badges, or everything. Like, yeah, I would say really big thanks to all the AIMS team. I'm really grateful that you were welcoming us to AIMS, and I hope really to, if there are further opportunities, I don't hesitate to recommend AIMS because this is really at the international level, and what they are proposing is clear, and you don't have to worry about anything else. And yeah, they have really a wonderful team. Thanks to and thanks also to Professor Fall. I mean, he was not able to be here. Yeah, he's behind, and then yeah, looking on the things if everything also working. So thanks to all. And then I think I did not finish yet, but I had some chocolate for the AIMS team, but you don't have chocolate, but you have certificates. So this is from my side. You can maybe share with your team. So I would like also to thank all the lecturers. Yeah, I probably don't cite all of them, but Jonathan, I think Michaela, who was also really helping, and also the WCRP team. There is Hindu Marti, who was always online, also helping with staff from the WCRP. I think there is Carlos, there is Liwa, yeah, there is also Ines from our institute helping with the administration staff, and there is other speakers like Ted Online, Anna from the Global Inclusion Task Team, the people from Kenya, I think Victor, Marceline, Joyce, Hannah, also, yeah, I think, yeah, and Maria was actually really traveled by herself to come here. And I don't forget the last piece with Hyacinthe. He also traveled from Germany to here, not only to run from the cold weather, but to really contribute. And he's really awesome, really nice person. I can say that we never met before, just online, and it's the same with Maria, and it's the same with AIMS people. Everything, most of people that are here, we just met online and then made this event possible. And I'm really grateful to all of you. Even I didn't cite it, was not able to tell all the names from APARC coaches like Amanda Maycock and all the speakers. Yeah, Redwan, yeah, all of them. I thank you all of you, and I'm really grateful that you make this possible, giving your time and also your energy to make this happen. So yeah, as I was saying, don't be limited, but if you have a dream, pursue it. It's not easy. Of course, you will be challenged, you will be doubted, but never doubt yourself. That's what I will advise you. Never doubt yourself. Believe in yourself. Even no one believe on your ability to achieve something, you can achieve it. Just believe yourself. Be motivated. Never let yourself down. Yeah, if you never let yourself down, so you will reach. You will get where you want to be, even though the road may be longer or maybe complicated. Yeah, that's one thing I advise you, and I hope you will collaborate between you, because networking is most important. Having the knowledge is something, but getting a good network is really very important for the future. I hope you will keep connected. You will maybe write project together, papers together, and this is the spirit of the school. We made it in 2023 in Kenya. There is still a group of people that keep sharing information, keep sharing projects, keep sharing ideas. And I hope you will keep maintain this connection between you and between also the mentors that you have been connected over the whole this week. Yeah, let's hope that we will get an opportunity to come back in Africa somewhere. I will organize a survey at the end of the school and just to get feedback about everything, portals, organization, what we should improve on the programs in the near future. If we want to organize something at another training school, and also, yeah, if you would be able to or willing to host us, yeah. So I would say big thanks to everyone. Big thanks also to people who supported me. Yeah, there's my wife here, my family there, my brother, and these are behind the scene. So yeah, now I think the time is, yes.
Yeah, well, I have no more to say than just to say thank you. I mean, it's been an intense and interesting 1 week. It's always interesting, like when you get into a multidisciplinary setting like this. I was in Senegal near 10 years ago. It was in St. Louis, but it was like about ocean upwelling system, which is like my own primary area of interest. But I really appreciate the diversity of background here and diversity of interests. So as a final word from me, it's try to keep, you have already identified people who are working, and these are really world-class experts in different areas. So it's really a very good opportunity that they come here to meet you, or that you're able to join online and try to keep track with that. My work is about climate science, about oceanography. So if you are interested or you have any question, or you're a WASCA student or whatever, you can contact me. I may not have answer to your question or solution to your problem, but I may be able to talk to someone, not just me. This same thing also goes with the other lecturers, because they've been interacting with you online and in person here. So feel free, don't be too shy. That's our problem sometimes, like a bit of timidity. So I wish you all the best, and let's keep the fire burning. Thank you very much.
So now we are going to hand you your certificate. It's important as well. I think Pura, yeah, Jalo, I will call him. Normally you should be ready for sign and everything, though you're going to get your certificate and then lunch. Okay. I hope you had a nice week here. So thank you so much.
Yeah, in fact,
for for traveling from Kiel to here. I hope you enjoyed the week.
Yeah,
Connected and so it's so stressful, but
yeah, it's kind of
very intense.
Yeah.
So now you have to take the mic and then score the name of the last round of the web.
Okay, where is it?
Yeah, there is the list of the.
Is it on the drive? No.
Yes, it's. I think I have shared it. Yeah, it's just a handful of people.
Yeah, okay. I can call from you. Okay. 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 So we wait a bit for our certificates, but in the meantime, we want to take feedback from you, like what you like or what you'd like improved or something, and just feel free to express yourself. Everyone should talk. Okay. Okay.
Okay. So as you know now, so my name is Khadija. I'm from Morocco. I was waiting for some information or basic information about climate. I feel like this is not AI for climate, but climate with AI. So this is my point of view about the training school.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Amani. I'm like a specialist in climate change. So I'm attending a lot of workshops This is one of the most workshops that is valuable for me. So it more than I expected. So I thank you all. I thank you, Moha, about this invitation. I know I interrupt you about a lot of a lot of emails, but you know the worries before the traveling. So I'm very, very sorry. And thank you all for this opportunity. Thank you.
I'll do maybe later on. Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Narinje, and I'm very happy to participate for this training school. Thank you for the organizer, Moha, who is a great person, and I know him since Germany, and I realize that he's really a good person. And I don't have really a big background about what we were doing, but right now I can say that I'm very happy to discover new things like modeling and like what Prof. Maria was presenting, and I really appreciate everything about the training. And thank you for everybody, and thank you for the people that everybody I meet here, and I really meet a great person here. And thank you for all.
Yeah, okay.
Sure. Yeah. Hey, just really glad that you all came this week and I got to crash the conference a bit. It was great to meet so many researchers doing such exciting things. And it certainly also influences how I'm teaching the course here at Ames. You know, I can draw now these examples from climate to teach the students here, and maybe they go on and do work like what you guys are doing, which is awesome. So thanks for all the great conversations over the week, and I hope everyone gets home safely.
Thank you very much.
Something. Thank you for all the organizer for this interesting training school. We really appreciate. I was in the training school at Kigali in 2023, but yes, we can see that for each step we have an improvement of the course, of the skill, and that is very nice initiative for African research and for to bridge communities from east to west. It is very important for us, and also to invite people like Thomas and many PhD students here can connect it with him for their future in the research. I think, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it's really great to have somebody who attended the previous one, who can see how it's moved.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to me to be here and to attend this workshop and training school. And need to thank Mr. Mohamedou and also Ames community, because you are the Ames you accept the people to come and to learn and to share different knowledge and to learn about the new technique I can't know before. So thank you every time. Thank you and continue again.
Okay, thank you so much. I would like to be grateful to the organizer of this excellent program about the AI and climate weather change. I think this is a serious problem that we need to focus deeply on it. Why? Because these are stochastic phenomena. And I think that to try to extend the limitations, what could be then, like a suggestion that I can bring, is collaboration between, for example, mathematicians, statisticians, machine learning engineers, and also climate change engineers. I think that if they can collaborate together and try to focus, they will bring like a solution that can have positive impact on the goals. So thank you for everyone. Thanks.
Yeah. So it's quite interesting. You think that the weather climate problem is stochastic?
Yes. Stochastic phenomenon. Why I'm saying this, for example, we are trying to observe what's happened in the past and what's happening to forecast like the future behavior. So this, for example, as what I've been doing, for example, in time series. So we try to model and try to give a predictions so that we can anticipate some actions. So whether we can adapt or try to mitigate risk.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite interesting, and that's why it's very good to have this multidisciplinary audience and fight and disagree to agree, because I would think that the climate problem is a deterministic question. Yeah, but it's okay. So it's good. Let the discussion and the arguments go on.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. It's a privilege to be here. Over the past few days, I've gained one or two things, and but I just want to make a comment, maybe for subsequent training school. I think they should give more time for the practical aspects, and also I see that it's because we have people from different disciplines, and I see that most of the things people are presenting their research, and for some of us that we are not in their area of research, it looks somehow to us, and I believe that this area can be improved upon. Maybe there will be different topics that people will come and they will give lectures on those topics. So since this is a training school, so it's different from conference. So if it is conference now, you can be presenting different researches. So, but since it is a training school, there should be more time for topics that can impact. Thank you.
Let's start. So I perfectly agree. In fact, the first day I had a meeting with Moha and with Robert Mbiake, who was supposed to come from Cameroon, but eventually couldn't make it. The first question I asked him is, who are the people we're expecting for this summer school? Because it's always very difficult for us as teachers to know the level at which to meet the students. Because sometimes it's you teach like the students I teach in Germany, so I take time to explain. They say, "Oh no, we already know this from our physics class. You don't need to spend your time explaining this." So, but I think it's something that can be improved. But most importantly, is your own as a learner, as a student, your own confidence. Like what we see here, you must not like understand everything. There must be, but there can be one or two things of interest to you. And like the lecturers have provided like the scripts, and all of them are working, you run them, you get the output, you can maybe focus on something of interest to you and keep on working on it, and you get to learn it just by trying to do. But I understand perfectly the issues you raised. So even me as a experienced 12 years or so post PhD experience, I don't understand everything, and I don't insist that I must understand everything. So yeah.
Okay, good afternoon. I'm Emmanuel from AIMS. So one thing that I really like about the program, the first day it was somehow difficult for me because it was more theoretical climate. I didn't understand a lot of things, but as days goes on, I started learning what I like, machine learning. So I was interested to see how most of the things about machine learning I've done, because that's what I'm doing in my master's. And it was very interesting to see how they are using AI and specifically deep learning to solve some of the problem we have in climate. And I really liked it. And I think the question from my friend in the morning, I think we can never know everything. So it's good to interact. So maybe I have a knowledge in machine learning. I meet someone who is good in climate. He tells me the problem he has. then now we can work together. It's very hard for me now to go deep and start learning again climate. Yeah. So I think this training school is good for us to meet different people. And maybe when also they are selecting people to attend, I know for AIMS, we are lucky we did not apply, we just attended it. But maybe when they are selecting people, they should also try different backgrounds so that when we come together, we do something great. So thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. But for me, I really enjoyed the workshop and I learned and discovered new things. I used to think that AI in climate is just about prediction, but I learned so much more this week. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. I am from African Master in Machine Intelligence. So I really appreciate the part of this workshop were related to computer visions. So this is an amazing workshop. Thank you for everyone.
So thank you very much for everyone. So I come here at first like a little very shy in climate. I don't know everything in climate. So believe me, I will leave this journey very motivated, very inspired to keep going to do a lot in climate. And I really hope that. Thank you very much for everyone I met.
Thank you so much. I mean, I feel so grateful that I had this chance to be part of this training school. And also I really thank Moha for having kept all our break intact, even though there was so hectic schedules, because thanks to that, we were very well fed and very well caffeinated so that we could follow all the trainings for the 5 days. I mean, like, similar to Malik, I actually didn't know what to expect when I first entered this classroom, but I learned so much, and all the classes, lectures, and the exercise really opened my eyes in terms of all the uses of AI, and also how it can actually benefit our efforts on climate change. I'm actually working on disaster risk reduction and environmental sustainability for a women-led organization in Uganda. And my role is to develop projects so that the beneficiaries can adopt proper actions like against disasters, or even maintain livelihood. So I will welcome anyone has ideas or willing to collaborate on this in terms of climate information for local organizations. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is okay. It's okay. Okay. My name is Ibrahim Salvador. I'm a WASCAL scholar student. I mean, I just graduated from WASCAL. I did informatics for climate change in Burkina Faso. So I would like just to say that first, when I saw the program scaled on, I was very surprised because as a climate scientist, I was saying that how could it be possible to achieve this program in few days. So when I reached here and the way that the program was going on, was very excited to learn from that training. So I would like to thank every lecturer that
takes some of their time to teach us during this training. I really learned something new. And also what I wanted to say from all the participants here. So we all know that we are encountering climate issue, and people are also motivated to find a solution so that they can reduce the climate impact. So I want to say this is a good way to work together and find a good solution to help our community in order to live healthy. So also, this is my first time to reach Senegal. I was not even think that one day I will come to visit Senegal. So I would like to use this opportunity also to say thank you to Dr. Diallo, which give me this opportunity to come and visit Senegal. And I would like also to thanks all the participants that I meet here. I already talked to some. I think I will try to talk to everyone here, and hopefully one day I will meet you in my country. So thank you, everyone.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Claudio Kwashi Hervé, and I'm also a WASCO graduate. So I first want to thank all the organizers and all the people who made this event possible. Let's say they have covered a lot of things, and they have also provided a lot of information to all the participants. And there, as a person who has a background in energy and also climate science, I think being here has been so beneficial to me because I got opportunity to learn more about AI and the machine learning techniques that we've been learning here together. And currently, I'm also writing a research proposal for my, for a PhD. So I think that I've got a lot of information and many things that I can make use of to write a good proposal. And also want to thank everybody, the new people I've met during this, throughout this very interesting workshop. Thank you to Dr. Moab and all the main people who presented. And this is the new family. I want to keep the network, and I hope I can count on each one of you. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Julien Baino from University of Filso-Wani in Côte d'Ivoire. I would like to sincerely thank the organizer for this training school on AI and for weather forecasting. This training provided a valuable opportunity to deepen my knowledge and improve my skills. And it also gave me a new idea on how to process my data. And I hope to continue learning more about machine learning and neural network. I would like also to express my gratitude to all the participants and to the organizer for the support and the collaboration during the training. I would like to express my need for future collaboration with all the participants, and I think that it is a new beginning for research in Africa. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Bahari Mazo. I'm PhD candidate in climate change, mining environment, and forestry, WASCAL program. I have just to say thank for this training. It was very interesting for me because I am new in the research. I come just to start my PhD, and now I know more about data, how to use it, where I have the new idea about it. So thank you. I think in Africa, we need more this kind of training because we need to build our capacity. So I think we need it. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chukwudi Ekwezo from Nigeria. I want to express my gratitude to the organizers, especially MOHA, for selecting me to be among the participants of this important training school. First of all, I think I enjoyed Senegal. It's quite a lovely country with lots of goodies. So I say bravo, and hopefully I should recommend Senegal to most of my friends too. And to the lecturers and the participants, thank you for the friendship and for sharing part of your knowledge with us. I hope to integrate most of what I've learned today within this training school in my future research plan, as well as to keep in touch with most of us here based on our shared goal. Johnny Messies, and thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. Jordan Bua is my name. I am a student in Army here at Senegal. So I came here to quench my curiosity about climate and about climate science. And what I can say is that for the first days, it was really difficult because it's new to me. But when we started doing, we started using AI and machine learning for climate, I really enjoy myself, and I want to thank all the organizers for this good initiative. And yeah, so what I can say is I also enjoy all the coffee break. Yeah, I'm looking forward to future events. Thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. Hello everyone, my name is Aderunke, and it's been such an expository week for me because I've only heard about climate science, climate modeling from afar. It's fun to be part of this event, and I appreciate every resource person that has been pivotal to the success of this training, and to all of the participants that I've met across the world. It was such a nice avenue to meet people from different countries. Thank you.
Okay, so I think we have to cut a bit short here, but if somebody has something that has not spoken, has something that is really important that he or she wants to say, we can take it. You? Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Moha and the organizers, the presenters. I would like to thank everybody. So this is interesting training workshop that other core projects of WCRP can also adopt, especially for Africa, because Africa needs some kind of technical skill like this one. So as some of my friends already commented, so it can be, I prefer like more technical stuff than, because we spent like the morning sessions in talks. So it's might be better to make it more technical, modeling stuff, and data analysis stuff. That's one point. The other point is like this room is not comfortable for training. So because it's like classroom, it's not training room. So it should be movable chairs that we can interact together. So we learn from each other. That's very important. In future, I think AIMS may have such kind of movable chairs, so we can sit and make things together. So that's.
I mean, I think it boils down to what we've been saying. We just have to get going. We don't have to wait for like.
Yeah, I think I think this is really yeah. I maybe be a little bit blunt or whatever. I think Africa is the point they need knowledge. And if you get a knowledge, if like here we say like the people on the Dara who's also going to study Quran or whatever, the most important one is to get knowledge, right? Yeah. You know, Africa, you are here. I mean, you were struggling to get funding to come here, right? Everyone is in the same position. Yeah. What we have, we try to wait. Yes, no, definitely. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm getting to that point. I'm getting to that point. No, please, I'm getting to that point. I'm getting to that point, please. So it's very difficult to get funding. You know that, right? And you are at the reefs and you know how it works. Sheikh is there. Thank you, Sheikh, also for helping to organizing it. He knows that. Most of people here who involved somehow is really difficult to get even funding to invest in capacity building. When it comes to talk, everybody say capacity building is very important. We should do this, we should do this and that. But when coming to put the money, the hand in the pocket and say we invest in Africa, you see like why do we have like 4% of all the funding that is supposed to help Africans relationship with Europe? It's only 4% that is remaining in the country. The 94% of it is remain outside of Africa. So this is the problem. I mean, you cannot get better like AIMS. People are here to enjoy, get knowledge. Yeah, comfortable chair. Yeah, it's a secondary effect, I would say, maybe. Yeah, but first get knowledge. Yeah, if we can improve the condition, definitely. Yeah, but I think from my side, I think not all African countries also has such kind of skill in terms of organization, in terms of being transparent, because you know this is really important. If you spend $1, it has to get a traceability because you have to also to report that. You know that, and it is very important. You can get maybe an institution with nice shares and so on, but also getting the traceability on everything, all the steps. And if it is not there, you know, there is a perception about like maybe some people are taking the money and using on their own perspective. Yeah, you know, all these things. So if you want to be clean, you have to be really strict. No one can hand you cash. No, everything has to be, and AIMS is really one of the best. Everything is clean for me. And I can justify, say, we have this amount of budget. This is how we expend it from until 1 cent it's remaining. You know, this is really important. And one have to really consider that. If there are other African centers who are really welcoming us to, and also to not only help us on organization, also to help these events happening, it's also really a great thing because there is no funding in Africa, most of the things. You can organize an event from A to Z and you didn't get any funding from the local institution. And here we are really happy to get AIMS involved in everything, helping and so on, you know, like, yeah. So if you have in Kenya, in the center that is, have a comfortable chair, that's great. So next time we can organize that. You are in Reef, then try to organize one. I think it. Yeah. So in the meantime, then we can just proceed to get the certifications, and then we can go to lunch. And thank you everyone for your feedbacks, positive or negative. I mean, we take all. We are here to improve. We are still young. This is our second edition. And we have to wait 10 years before getting such kind of things happening in Africa. And I'm really grateful for any kind of input or all your time you have put in to make this successful. I'm really grateful to AIMS and all the institutions that are involved in this, and lecturers and everything. Thank you. So now, Kura, can you help on handing on certificates?
Okay, so I can put my video. You can stop your video. Okay. You can stop your video. Yeah. I can put my video and stop your video. Yeah. You can stop your video. I think okay.
Okay. So we don't. Okay. Then Gallimore, all of us.
Okay.
Yo.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Then we have Mustafa Gay. Oh, I always forget that. Mustafa Gay. Marie-Jeanne Sambo. Manzo Bahari. Paul Joaquin Batista. Juma Kor Fay. Mardoche. Dinga Maji Mardoche. No?
Online, yeah, it's
Okay.
online.
Thomas Minda. Temin Shim. Julien Aymar Bahino. Delwend Isaac Yameogo. Khadija. Amani Hamid Ali. Samuel Ekwezuo. Ibrahim Savadogo. Lui, je vais le sauter. Regarde là, je vais le sauter. Mori Touré. Mam Haisha Faye. Voici Hervé Kouadjo. Pape Malik Diop. Dame Gay. Malamin Koli. Naar Njai. Okay, so we have Tawe Liwa Augustine, but I think she attended online. Okay. Papa Leiti Njai. Online again. Jordan Kevin Boa. Ajifola Kemi Ade Ronk. Sorry, I'm not. Vongai Mitchell Maku Waza. Okay. Muhammad Abaka Asuna. Jean Bayiha. Ba Cherno Sulaiman Jallo. Aminata Sall. Now I will call two persons at the same time. Okay, so Pumo Amia Josefa Brenda. And Christ Sagombe in Nepal. Chris Sagombe. Okay, please come. Ola Luoye, alo lekan. Ola lekan, ola. Sorry. Adria Mianja. I'm struggling with the names. Emmanuel Barkasha. and Joseph Chojo Audrey.
Well, okay. There is 4 block notes that they are remaining. So we would like to sorry for the men from AIMS. We are going to dedicate them to the ladies coming from AIMS. So can you come? Can you come? Sorry. Priority to women. No. No, sorry. Only women. Okay. Come here. We want to get picture for AIMS women. Ale, come on. Last picture for the yes. Okay, so you are free to go. It's lunchtime now, and I hope you are happy with your gifts. And for those who didn't get, sorry. We have maybe a final picture with everyone outside.
Before that, please, can we stand up and clap for Moha, the organizer? Can we stand up and clap louder? Yay. Right, thank you very much. Thank you. Lunchtime.
And then you are free to go.